I'm talking about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. It was directed by Christopher McQuarrie. The music was done by Lauren Boff. The cast is Tom Cruise, Haley Atwell, and Simon Pegg. We got a poster. I love this poster. And a couple of pins. And so overall it was good. It was intense. It was nerve-wracking because it's real for the most part. He's going off that cliff. The train is going down. And to me it could have been shorter, especially since it's part 1. I mean, part 2 can be longer, and part 1 could be shorter, just leaving you more hanging on for more. This is the longest Mission Impossible movie with 2 hours and 43 minutes. Fallout, which is 2 hours and 28 minutes, is the shortest one. And the first Mission Impossible is 1 hour and 50 minutes, which is the shortest one in the franchise. Even though it was pretty long, it went by quick. There was minimal CGI, just where it was needed, and it was really good. And it was in a Marvel movie. Isai Morales replaced Nicholas Hoult for this one as the villain because Hoult had a scheduling conflict with season 2 of Hulu's The Great. And no offense to Nicholas Hoult, but I think Isai Morales is better in the villain role. I wanted to see more of the romance and relationship between Ilsa and Ethan. I mean, I just would like to see more of that. I want to see more of Briggs and Davis. It'd be interesting if Jeremy Renner returned because his character was created to take over for Ethan. And it would just be interesting if his character, Brant, came back as his secretary, who disavows any knowledge of the actions. And this was really weird. I never noticed this in any of the films, but everybody seems to sweat more than usual. So, there are spoilers here, so continue at your own risk. There are many references to the past Mission Impossible movies, and especially the first one with Kitteridge coming back. The AI is an interesting choice, and I actually didn't find that out until the day of I went to the movie, hours before I went to the movie. But it was still good. I mean, it was, even though I didn't really know anything about it until the day of, it was still interesting, and just really surprised they went that direction. The beginning sub scene reminded me of submarine movies from the 90s, like Hunt for October. I love that Kitteridge returns, and he tries to help Ethan and ends up bringing Grace on. The fight scenes were a little slow. It was almost like they were too practiced, maybe. I'm not sure. It's like, I've seen Ilsa fight. She can fight quicker than that. It would have been interesting if Ethan had struggled more, especially in the alley scene with Paris, played by Palm Clementif. He was struggling a little bit, but that fight scene could have been a little bit more of him struggling between two people in a narrow alley and a woman with a pipe. I don't know which production star first, but Fast 10 does a chase scene through Rome, and as I think they're the same places as this chase scene in this movie. Now, I haven't seen Fast 10, but I've only seen the trailer, and those chases are in the trailer, so it's just interesting that we have two movies the same year with a similar car chase. And did nobody see the green explosion in the office with the very large windows Or were they too busy trying to figure out a typewriter because of the AI, the entity, ruining their system? I knew it was Ethan when he started loosening his tie to be able to take his mask off. That was really good. There were actually very high stakes in this, and characters die, and it's really sad that Ilsa dies in this. I was not expecting that. And this is going to sound horrible, but I honestly hope she stays dead. Because it's emotional, there's stakes, anybody can go, and if they just bring her back, it'll just turn into a Marvel movie. I'd really rather not her come back. I mean, I hope she doesn't. I mean, you never know. Oh, the Fiat that they built, the little yellow Fiat, that was fun. And they had a lot of trouble driving on the cobblestone streets. And they actually built a lot of things in this movie. They built the Fiat, the production crew built the Fiat, and they built the train from the ground up. And they actually fought on top of that train at 60 miles an hour. And this was a really good movie with strong female characters. They have emotions, and they are actually scared at times, especially Grace. And there are sometimes damsels, but everybody saves each other no matter what the gender is. I really enjoyed that, especially because Grace felt so real because she is in over her head. Like she says, and like Haley Atwell says in her interview, that she's basically us, the audience. We're experiencing everything through her, and so she's freaking out. I wanted to see what happened to the train passengers since the train was going down. I know they all get off, but what happened to them? How did they get off? And so, looking forward to part 2, and that will be the last one. I'm kind of sad about that. I'll miss the franchise. Wish it was still going. Although I have read that Tom Cruise wants to copy Harrison Ford with Indiana Jones and continue with the franchise until he's 80, which I would love to see. I would love the franchise to continue to go, so we'll see what happens. So, here's a question. Should Ethan die and Renner's branch show up at the last second to take over, or should he live another day to continue running? See you in 2024, and this message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.